What's up out there, YouTube? Double D here with Tournage du Bois. Welcome back. Today I've got this piece of walnut crotch. Looking to do a live edge bowl, so we keep some of this feathering graining in the base. The bark was really weak, so I went ahead and took that off just because there's no way it can be saved. But let's get this thrown on the lathe and get going. All right, so we have that rough shaped in. I've got some cracking, obviously, that we want to fill in. So I'm going to hit this with some sanding sealer. Then I'll re-scrape it, probably do a second coat of the sanding sealer. Then we'll do our CA glue, and then we'll get through our sanding processes. So there's a little bit of punky area up here at the heartwood. But the graining is super good. We got a little bit of that feathering right in here where that crotch is. And we'll get this going and see where we can go with it. So we have our myelin sanding sealer we're going to use. Shake it up as always to make sure it's good and mixed. What this sanding sealer is going to do is that's going to keep any of the staining that might occur from the CA glue that we use, just to keep that wood from discoloring in localized areas. It'll also help stiffen up any of the fibers in this end grain, especially on the heartwood where it's a little bit soft. And it'll help get a little bit better cut and close it up pretty good for us to get our sanding done appropriately. We'll give that a bit to dry, and then we'll be back. All right, we are back. We've got that sanding sealer on. It's dried. I decided what I think I want to do is do the CA glue first and then reshape or scrape this back just a little bit and then sand it. It'll save us a little bit of time. We're going to use our Star Bond Black. There's a link down below in the description to their site. Use that link or use the coupon code DD15 to get a 15% discount on your purchase. Use a little bit of accelerator, and that will cure that up. And we'll keep going. And for some of these smaller ones, we will use our Star Bond Thin. All right, we're going to leave that to cure up. Doesn't take too awfully long, but I'll probably leave it for an hour or so, and then we'll be back. All right, I have that sanded up to 320 grit. Now we're going to hit it with our denatured alcohol to stand that grain up, clean out that dust. We will get this hit again with our 400 grit sandpaper as the final on this, and then we will get it flipped around. I'm not going to use any abrasive paste with the live edge, so the 400 grit will be just fine, and then we'll get it, like I said, flipped around and get it hollowed out from there. The graining is just beautiful on this, so I'm super happy with how this has turned out. The sanding sealer did help a lot with the punky bits on the end, so that's really nice and smooth. Did a lot of hand sanding there as well, just to make sure and get that all finished up. And we'll go from there. So we'll get this knob turned off over here. Might use the Sawzall and cut that off. But we're going to get that taken off, and then we'll be able to get it going from there. All right, we are back with our sanding sealer. So we're going to put that on so we can use our CA glue on these little bit of cracks that we have, just like we did on the outside. So the main focus will be stiffening up the fibers in this sapwood on the end grain, coating it all really, really well so we can go back and do a final scrape after we've put the CA glue on. I'll also be getting the live edge portion with the sanding sealer just to minimize any potential issue that we might have with that, and get it going from there. I'm super happy with the graining in this, how the feathering shows up through both portions, the back, the underneath side, and the inside as well. That's one of the nice things about keeping that center part of the tree in the bottom of the bowl, is you don't lose out on that graining if you turn it in a typical orientation where the outside of the edge is the bottom of the bowl and then the middle portion is the top of the bowl that you cut away, because you lose all that beautiful graining that you get inside. You do get the live edge on this way as well, which adds a little bit of beauty to the piece. Get rid of that little piece of bark there, because with the rest of the bark all missing, it's unimportant. But this sanding sealer will just help keep that looking nice. We'll go back over that part with a steel brush anyway, a wire brush, and get that cleaned up after this all dries. All right, so we will leave that to sit for a while. Put a little extra on that sapwood on the end grain, because that'll soak it up pretty good. We'll go back when we get our final scrape in, and that'll really make a big, good difference on getting a good scrape with that for good shaping. Like I said, though, we will, once this dries, we will get our CA glue on it. Get that finished up. So we'll see you in a minute. And we are back. This is good and dry, so we're going to use our black Star Bond again to get these cracks filled in, and then we will get to sanding and our finished cut. All right, now we have that sanded up to 320 grit, so it's time for our denatured alcohol. Clean this up real good, and then we will get it 400 grit, and then we'll get the tenon turned off and get our finish applied. And for our finish, we will be using our Tung honey from Brad's Workbench. There's a link to his Etsy store down below. So you can definitely go and try that out. Now, keep in mind that we are going to be doing a giveaway in an upcoming video, so definitely tune in. But we will be offering a complete finish kit from Brad. So this is going to include the abrasive paste, the Tung wax, and the Tung honey finish. So the lucky winner for that drawing will be getting one of each of those for that time period. So like I said, definitely come check that out. Keep in mind this is only available for participants with a US shipping, just because international shipping is so cost prohibitive for him as a small business. Maybe down the road we can offer that internationally, but right now it's only going to be for here in the United States shipping address. So like I said, definitely tune in, keep in touch with that, follow us, definitely subscribe if you haven't, but just be watching for that upcoming video on that with that giveaway. This is one of my all-time favorite finishes. I actually like the Tung wax a little bit more, just because of how quickly it goes on, as opposed to the Tung honey, which I typically let set for 24 hours. But it's a phenomenal finish. I love it. I love all of the abrasive paste as well. I just don't use it as much on the live edge projects. I use this white Scotch Brite. Just tends to keep me from overusing the finish, and it puts it on really well, spreads it around, and keeps it pretty even consistency throughout. That wood graining is just amazing. I love walnut. Anybody who's watched my channel for a while knows how much I enjoy walnut, but it's just such an amazing wood. It cuts beautifully, it finishes beautifully, and just the coloring is so dramatic. And each piece is completely different, of course. Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that project where we took that walnut crotch and turned the live edge bowl. So we have our finished product. Absolutely beautiful. The feathering that's there in the graining. The finish, as always, Brad, this is amazing stuff. Of course, the bark was already coming off, so I just picked all of that off. Closed up the cracks with the CA glue from Starbond, and then laser engraved my logo on the bottom, as always. So there's our finished piece. You get a little bit of the contrast with the heartwood and the sapwood, so you get that nice color differentiation and just the texture, the look, and the overall feel of the piece. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if this is your first time here, do hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. And remember, in an upcoming video, we will be having a giveaway for a full kit from Brad's Workbench. There is a link to his Etsy store down below if you want to take a look at it. It is my go-to finish, both of them, the Tung wax and the Tung honey. The abrasive paste is great as well, and it's just an overall really good kit. But we're going to be having a full kit giveaway for United States people only, unfortunately, but we will get that going. But at any rate, we will catch you all next time.